We'll now field any questions that you have.
Okay, I have a question on the saddles for stores that go into stores. Are these pre-built, or do you pre-build any of them? Do you stock any of them? And if you do, are there any carryover costs for saddles that are not sold?
The actual saddles that are in the stores, there will be about 4 saddles, and just to be on display, because as we said, about 75% of our customers will want customization, and they are very, very particular in this industry about what they want: tooling, conchos, and rhinestones. So there won't be much of a carryover rate. Those are just to sit out there and show them what they look like and what the undersides look like. So they will order them. Most of them will be ordered through the company.
Okay, but you are going to have a cost, some kind of write-off for those saddles. Is that reflected in the financials?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is in the financials as far as they buy the saddles from the retail store will buy those saddles from us, and they will sit there.
Okay, so they're actually sold.
Yes, yes, sir.
So you're not holding on to them. They're not an inventory item.
Right.
Okay, just wanted to clear that up. Thank you.
I have a question on the saddle. Really, it's a two-part one. One, how well do the pads wear, the different pads? And two, is there a market? Can they buy replacement pads? Say if they get a different horse and need something different, can they buy replacement pads?
Yes, ma'am. The pads under the saddle, we generally recommend that you replace them every 3 years. I mean, because they have wear and tear on them. And also, you can also get thicker pads if you have like a really narrow horse to help compensate for that narrowness of the horse. And so you can buy additional shim kits and fitting cushions that come with it to help fit to a variety of different widths and everything of the horse. But as far as the pads go, we typically recommend that you replace them every 3 years just to make sure that they're doing good.
Okay. And a follow-up question on that. What do the shim kits run, and why aren't they reflected in the financials if you've got people that may be purchasing those? And I mean, that's an additional income source and an additional cost of goods, I would assume.
The pads typically run, the fitting cushions themselves, just the large ones that fit under the saddle, are about $50, and the shims, you can buy a shim kit which comes with a lot of different thicknesses of the flat shims and different angles of the wedge shims, and the price for those are under our parent company, the ones that started in the endurance racing market. The pads fall under that part.
Okay.
I have a question on the financials. When we saw the sheet up there, as we look at the next 3 years of financial application, there was no increase in any other costs other than the manufacturing costs and the marketing costs. So what are we looking at as far as, are you bringing on additional salespeople with this new line? Are they all being handled under the other fixed cost scenarios? Where else are we financially dependent against this new line other than manufacturing and marketing?
I'm sorry, which costs are you saying are we keeping consistent?
Let's see. There was another slide that just had the only ones that showed was just marketing costs and manufacturing costs. Everything else stayed the same.
Okay. Well, this is our full income statement as we have broken it up into each area that we're going to be spending money in. As you can see, our manufacturing costs do increase as we sell more saddles, but it is based on $1,100 is our average direct cost to manufacture is what we base these numbers on. Is this what you were referring to?
No, it was another slide, but that's okay. You got it covered on that one, and I'm
okay.
cool to go.
Did we answer your question then?
Yes,
okay.
you did. Thank you.
I have another question about what's included in the financials. You have a 100% money-back guarantee if they're not satisfied within 25 days, which seems like a real selling point If they're customized, do we take them back? And are those, how many do you expect to be returned? Are those costs included in the financials?
Well, actually, the trial period is only for a basic saddle. The demo period for the 2 weeks is a basic saddle. As far as the warranty goes, it's a 100% money-back warranty for 2 years that covers any manufacturing defects. So then, if it's a manufacturing defect, they can send it back to us, and it's in the contract with the saddle makers that we contract this out to that they have to fix those at their cost because it's actually their defect. So that's why it's not reflected in our financials. Did that answer your question?
I have a question on your target segment strategy in terms of you identified segments by if they're professional, collegiate, et cetera. However, your action plan strategy has you rolling out against early adopters and trend followers. Can you help me understand how you made the leap from very distinct segments to a product adoption life cycle strategy for your tactics?
Right. Well, because our integrated advertising promotional strategy is 2 overlapping phases, so actually all of those strategies are running at the same time. But the one thing that we wanted to stress was that at the first we wanted to get those key influencers. We wanted to get the ones that will be helping our word of mouth and that our competitors actually look to for advice and for expertise. And so that's why we focused on the phase 1. And those professionals are actually the ones that the school segment and those weekend warriors look up to. So that's why it's broke out into those strategies are broke out into the 2 phases.
Great, thank you.
I've got another financial question. You had, on one of the slides, you had talked about the independent dealers and that were either former professional athletes or current professional rodeo athletes that would be doing demonstrations and fit clinics, and they would be paid a commission. However, there's not any commissions indicated in your financials.
Okay, well, would you like, okay, sorry.
Okay, so we have a weighted average net price that is used to calculate our our revenue as $2,024 in the first year. That is considering that we are expecting to sell 70% of our sales directly from the company. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to be selling the 20% through the retail stores and 10% through the independent sales agents. So taking the weighted average net price, at the retail stores, we're going to be selling it at an average price of $2,200. For the independent sales agents, we're going to be selling it to them for $1,760. And for the retail stores, we'll be selling them at the $1,540, allowing them to bump it up to our average retail price of $2,200, giving them that 30% and 20% commission. And so by taking those percentages, we expect to sell 900 saddles in the first year. So when we multiplied all that out, that gave us our $1.8 million revenue. Dividing that by the 900 gave us the $2,024.
So it's more of a margin than a commission. They've got that margin built in.
Is more of
and does that margin maintain as it goes up for the custom saddles?
Yes, that margin is maintained.
Obviously, you have a suggested retail price. What happens if a local store decides not to take their full 30% commission and decides they're only going to take 10% commission, so they actually undercut you? Are you going to be okay with that? Does it matter?
I think one of the things we're concerned about is selling the saddles. And so the retail store, the retail store will be selling them. However, they will still come to the company for their education, and that's one of the things we feel like they're going to buy from the direct company more because they need to find out that their saddles don't fit in the first place, which is our direct presence at the rodeos and trade shows and through the company. Okay,
I think I understand what you said there.
Could I add on to that? our stores we're not going to require them to mark it up by a certain amount. However, we strongly suggest that they do. I mean, obviously you don't want them undercutting us, but I guess if it became a problem, we could always remove our saddles from those stores. So.
With the weight applications and the customization of the 3D components, we've got the horse's comfort pretty well covered. Do we have any thought against the rider comfort on these saddles?
Yes, sir. The seat here is actually made with the same material that they make those memory foam beds out of. And so when they get in this, I mean, it's like sitting on a sofa. But then you get into right here, and we have this rough out option where it's not all tooled, and when you're riding, you don't want that rubbing your legs. And so we've accompanied for the rider as well. So.
I've got a few dozen saddles at home, and I'll switch them all for a Tempur-Pedic saddle. So I want to talk to you after this.
Thank you.
Thank you.